Let's learn about the perimeter of complex figures. These are figures that are made up of rectangles and squares. So for instance, this here is a complex figure. And then so this here also is a complex figure. This is not a complex figure because it is not made up of rectangles or squares. It almost looks like a Pac-Man. And today we're going to learn about perimeter, or the distance around these types of complex figures. This is an example of a complex figure, and the nice part about this complex figure is that each and every single side is labeled. So this 7, 3, 2, 4, 5, 7, they are all labeled. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. To figure out the perimeter, or the distance around this figure for this complex figure, all we do is we add together each of those sides. So what I like to do is I like to start at one point and go all the way around the figure to really make sure that I'm adding in each of those sides. So I play at 7, 3, 2, 4, 5, and 7, all of those meters. So carefully adding those together, I do that as follows. 10 plus 6 is 16, plus 12 is 28. And that's going to be 28 meters. That's the distance around this figure. Now I can add it back up in my head again, and I'll start at a different point. 4 and 5 is 9, 7 is 16, 7 more is 23, 3 more is 26, and 2 more is 28, and I'm back to my original point. That way I know, and I've done a check to make sure that my perimeter is correct there. Again, a very common mistake is to not label correctly. Since we're adding together meters, our label for perimeter is meters. 28 meters is that perimeter. This is the same type of problem, another complex figure. However, with this complex figure, not all the sides are labeled. One of the things to really do when you're figuring out perimeter is to make sure to label each and every single side. Now, for those sides that aren't labeled, we have to figure out what their length is. And then so to figure out their lengths, we're going to look as follows. This is a horizontal segment, horizontal side that goes all the way across the figure, 15. And this one is also horizontal, only goes part of the way, 10. And then so this right here and the 10 together would give you 15. So to figure out this value right here for this side right here, one of the unlabeled slides, we will take 15, subtract away 10 to get 5 centimeters. Which makes sense because 5 and 10 does get us all the way across the figure, 15. Now there's another unlabeled side. You see this unlabeled side right here? And then so this is a vertical unlabeled side that only goes part of the way of the figure, and this is the remaining way of the figure. So this and this together give you 13. What and 7 give you 13. What and 7 give you 13. And so that's going to be 6. 6 and 7 more does equal 13, or we could have figured it out, 13 minus 7 to give us 6 centimeters. Now just to figure out the perimeter, same way as before, now that the sides are all labeled, we just add each of those together. After we've gone through all of that work, it's a shame to miss an add end, to miswrite an add end, or to even add them incorrectly. So I wrote down 5 plus 6 plus 10 plus 7 plus 15 plus 13 for my add-ends. There's 6 sides, that's why there are 6 add-ends. Carefully adding those together, I have that there so far. 11 plus 17 is 28, plus 28 is 56. And 56 in this case centimeters. So the perimeter, or distance around the figure, is 56 centimeters. Again, I'll check my work. 7 and 15 is 22, 13 is 35, 5 more is 40, and 6 more is 46, 10 more is 56, and I'm back at my original point again, 56 centimeters. Checking my label again. Alright, here is another complex figure. You will notice with this complex figure there are more sides than we have seen. This side is labeled 10. So there is another side at this point that we can go ahead and label. Point at the side that you think that you can label because of that 10. Goes all the way up and down the figure. So it's this one over here that we can label as 10. Now there is another missing side here, all the way across the figure. And so what's going to help us all the way across the figure is each of these values, the 5, the 7, and the 10. To get all the way across the figure, we would have to go 5, 7 more, and then 10 more. So what do we do with the 5, 7, and the 10? We add them. 5, 7, and 10. 5 and 7 is 12, plus 10 is 22. So all the way across the figure is 22 meters. Are there any other missing sides? Hopefully you said yes. This side right here is not labeled. It matches up with this one right here. Same distance, opposite of each other, and that's why we can also label that 4. Now for the perimeter, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All sides are now labeled. We are adding together 8 numbers. I'll start at our lower left corner. 5 plus 4 plus 7 plus 4 plus 10 plus 10 plus 22 plus another 10, and I'm all the way back around to where it is that I had started. 5 and 4 is 9, 7 and 4 is 11, 10 and 10 is 20, 22 and 10 is 32. I did have 8 addends there. Now I have 4 addends. 9 and 11 is 20, plus, and I'll combine these two here, 20 and 32 is 52, 20 and 52 is 72, and that's 72 meters. Or the distance around this whole figure is 72. 22, 32, 42, 46, 53, 57, 62, 72. 72 meters. I confirmed my answer. Perimeter, or the distance around, is 72 meters. Alright, it is time for you to try. It is your turn. And then so I want you to go ahead and find each, copy down the figure, and then go ahead and label those unlabeled sides. So there's an unlabeled side right here, and there is an unlabeled side right here. After you label each of those unlabeled sides, you can go ahead and find the perimeter by adding all of those lengths together. Hit pause. Alright, did you get these values for the unlabeled sides? This here is 10 inches, 6 plus 4 is 10, 15 all the way across, 9, so this here is also 6. Because 6 and 9 gives you 15. Now at that point, you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 addends to add together. Get 4, 15, 10, 9, 6, and 6. 4 and 15 is 19, 10 and 9 is also 19, 6 and 6 is 12, and then I will finish adding those together. 38 and 12 more gives us 50. 50 what? What did you label it? 50 what? Should be 50 inches. And then so I can abbreviate that IN. If you wrote it out inches, I would have accepted that as well. You must show your work when you're figuring out the perimeter. Label each of those sides first, and then add all of those up. Again, checking our work. 9 and 10 is 19, 15 more is 34, 4 more is 38, 44, and 6 more is 50. I can confirm that that's what my answer would be. It's very important to label those sides correctly and to make sure you add in each and every single one of those sides, the distance around that figure. And always make sure to label correctly as well. That's perimeter for complex figures.